Hey everyone, welcome to a primitive news breakdown here on Sotopop. Alright, as always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos, and today, well, of course, we have our standard candy toy blog to get to with Kamen Rider, but before that, we have some new Shokugan modeling project news, as well as some regular Minipla news. So let's get to the Minipla news, and I say the term news, and I'm using it very loosely, because we didn't get too much information out of this. The too long didn't read is that, hey, you can combine the T-Rex into the lion and do exactly what you think it does, and also give it a super articulated version. You know, like what Super Minipla has been doing for years, or regular Minipla has been doing for years, and I guess Super Minipla. But yeah, that's really it. I just wanted to pay a passing mention to this. So let's move into the really big information of Shokugan modeling project. Now, if you remember when we were covering Gao Ranger, that, hey, they said that this isn't Minipla anymore. This isn't Super Minipla anymore. That's because they are rebranding to the Shokugan modeling project. Now, we already knew this, like, going into it, just because, you know, due to trademarks and all that stuff, we had the information, like, we had the title of it going forward, but now we sort of know why, because turns out that Super Minipla has been doing really well, not just in Japan, but in other countries as well, and they really want to make a global brand out of it. On top of that, they wanted to create a branching toy line, which we will get to later, but it is called SMP Alternative Destiny. Now, that's another thing that they wanted to talk about. SMP Shokugan Modeling Project. To simplify it, they just want to go with SMP, so that is what we will be using going forward. That is the nomenclature that they want us to use, and I don't know, it sounds clean, it sounds cool. I will go with that. And also SMP Super Minipla. It's like the thing where they did SH Figuarts before Sochak Henshin died, or after Sochak Henshin, they went to SH Figuarts, so it's kind of like that same DNA is still wrapped up in there. But yeah, anyway, that is it for this part, but what is the difference, like, substantially between SMP and Super Minipla? Well, mostly nothing, but basically what they want to I guess sort of reaffirm is, you know, they want to do scene reproduction. So scene, motion, proportion, and like I said, scene reproduction, they want it to be, like, accurate to the show or the source material. The motion, they want articulation out the wazoo, and proportion, modeling, so they want it to look good, I guess, which part of me thinks that's the same thing as scene, but maybe that could just be a translation thing. They really just want to refocus in, like, this has been, I guess, hallmarks of Super Minipla so far, but in Shokugan Modeling Project, they want to make that clear that that is their intent going forward. And also, with that, with the new information, like I said, we are getting a new SMP Alternative Destiny, and their first Alternative Destiny item is this guy. Now, this is a prototype image, so, you know, don't judge it yet, but this is part of SMP Alternative Destiny, and it basically sort of redesigns, or I guess makes more realistic versions of mostly, I guess, super robot type proportions on things, and that's what this basically is. And now, this is the first time we ever sort of get a name check on a designer, but I will read what Google Translate has quoted here. The series specializes in proportion arrangements aimed at the extreme of modeling, with Toshihisa Mayauchi, sorry about the pronunciation, who creates high-end products and handles numerous mechanical designs such as SD, Gundam World, Sangoku Sojuden, as a designer. And this Gunbuster figure is of his design. So basically, they want to make, you know, I guess, more animation-esque characters into more realistic versions of themselves. And this looks pretty cool. And like I said, this is under development so far, so look forward to more of this in the future. And yeah, anyway, then they have a little bit more of a Q&A. Is Super Minipla over? Well, yeah, kinda, but you are going to be getting the same stuff out of this. Basically, what they're saying is, if there is a current line going under Super Minipla, it's not going to end. It's just going to be rebranded into SMP. And on top of that, they are thinking of doing re-releases of Super Minipla items under SMP. So it should tell you that these are basically the same things. And also, we're potentially getting reissues and re-releases. So that's really cool if you missed it the first time and you see those crazy aftermarket prices. Anyway, when are these new Alternative Destiny and like all these other brands going to be coming out? Well, they didn't quite answer that. They said right now they're working on Genesis of Aquarion as a property, Super Robot Wars OG, and the Brave Fighter of the Sun, all under this branding. And they're going to be releasing more info later this year. Whether or not those figures actually come out this year, we do not know yet. Also, and we're going to be switching to my actual desktop look here, because there is a survey that I do want to show you guys, which is really cool. This is the survey for the Shokugan modeling project, and you can basically put in, I guess, anything you want. Let's take a look at this, because they want to know what to put in this line. What are the things that we would like to see? And this is going to go from March 19th to May 6th. So get your things in by then. The links to the thread and this survey are going to be in the description if you want to get any of this. But it's going to ask you, age, gender, and then after that, here come the fun questions. Basically, you choose either an anime, a game, or a live-action toku series, and it's going to give you, I guess, sort of a breakdown of... I chose anime here for this one, but there are tons of them here. Let's see, Gatchaman is in here, and that's more of a Tatsunoko property. Full Metal Panic, Erica 7. I chose Gurren Lagann because I want Gurren Lagann. That's just, what I used to be into. I also really love Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. I haven't actually seen it, but I've seen images of it, and it is really cool, and it has an awesome combination, like the suits combined with the bikes. It's really cool. And then also, hey, I want some Pacific Rim, because that is also in the live action and special effects works. Let's take a look at what else is all in there. And obviously you have Rider, Godzilla, Ultra, and there are a few things that overlap here. Specifically, Power Rangers? What would that even entail? I don't know, but you can vote for it. And really, this is just stuff that probably they think people will want, not necessarily things they can do just yet, just being hopeful. Anyway, question 4, that will get you your wild card pick. So whatever you want, I wanted Wild Tiger from Tiger and Bunny. That's just what I need in my life as Super Minipla. And then question 5, what else can what else do you want? What are your demands? And I asked for candy instead of gum. You see it. It's on here, on the page. Anyway, yeah, and then ask you a bunch of other things, and then you just submit. Anyway, I just wanted to walk you guys through that for the SMP stuff, because it was very interesting. There are a bunch of items in here that are really cool to sort of look at, or to sort of speculate about. So definitely fill that survey out and let me know your 4 picks. The 3 of them that come from the survey, and then your 4th wild card pick. And maybe we'll be talking about them in a future podcast topic. Anyway, that is it for the Shokugan modeling project. Let us now move on to Kamen Rider, and it is at long last, Saber's turn to be in Saber's line. Now, we are getting our very first looks at book 7. Yeah, book 7. And these figures look pretty good. I don't know. They look accurate. I'm not a big fan of this form, but it does look like it should. Anyway, you might think that these two figures are very similar and they were probably all just the same mold of each other, but it turns out there are a few differences between them. Chief among them are the, I guess, flames there on the elbow, and the lack of bones on Elemental Primitive Dragon. Also, if you take a look, the knees are different as well. So that just means for them that these two are completely different molds, which is... that's hilarious. I'm sorry, but it sucks that they have to keep pouring money into these molds, but I'm glad they do. Anyway, the main figure here, Primitive Dragon, it does have option stickers for you to turn this into the Lion Senki variant, and here is a look at the sticker sheet. You'll notice there isn't too much here. Yeah, it turns out a lot of these are getting a lot of paint on itself, and we'll take a look at that later. But another thing they wanted to talk about was, hey, we had no idea that this form was going to hold the sword so weird, so unfortunately there is no strangely held version of of Saber's sword, so we're just going to be left with that, and honestly, that's fine. I'm fine. Low on my list of wants. Anyway, next up, let's take a look at this guy. This is Elemental Primitive Dragon, and he too is getting a lion's share of the paint in this. A strange story about this, because we do have 5 separate paint apps on here, and if it looks like they are trying hard to impress you here, it's kind of because they are. Coming right off of developing the Decade Complete 21 form, they were like, you know what? We could do better. We can do better. There are so many stickers on that figure that they rearranged the entirety of this figure's budget, or this wave's budget, to make this figure far more palatable, or at least give it way more paint. Like I said, there are 5 paint apps just on this skirt alone. That is impressive. So, like I said, this one's getting the lion's share of the paint work here. Anyway, here these two are without any paint, and as I said, there's plenty of it. Even the individual fingers on the chest, it's wild to me. But also, the regular Primitive Dragon, they were saying, oh yeah, that one's gonna probably be rather easy to do, and you know, they made it happen. So I am pretty happy with the way these figures look. These are, like I said, going to be in book 7, so that means they're coming out in April, I believe. It's gonna be a little later, depending on you know when things get pushed back and whatnot. So we'll see closer to the date of this release. Anyway, that's kind of not it, because I did want to bring your attention back to this premium Bandai set that is now closed in Japan. You cannot get these from a middleman service anymore, but you can still get them from P-Bandai USA if you live in the US for $65 each. You know, there were the 2 sets. I did a full-on breakdown that I will link in the description down below, like broke this down again, just because, hey, you know, we really want to get more eyes on the premium Bandai US releases, just to make sure that we get more releases in the US and hopefully in other territories as well. But, you know, I think most times it starts here, the change starts here. So if you have not ordered these figures yet already, now is the time to do so. These end May 14th in the US, so make sure to get these in. And on top of that, Team Kamen Rider is going to be having a huge Rider Week event starting on April 3rd. So everyone get excited because it is Kamen Rider's anniversary on April 3rd, or, you know, within that week, and there are going to be tons of reveals. Whether or not it's going to be Soda related, it's still Kamen Rider related, and the more Kamen Rider fans we get, the more people we can start bringing into Soto. So definitely get excited, share it around. I also, like I said, put a bunch of links in the description to where I broke this down, so definitely check that out. And hey, while you're there in the description, there are links to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money and signing petitions. On top of that, there are new links in there to how you can help support the anti-Asian violence resources group. There are plenty of resources in there for you to educate yourself on anti-Asian violence, as well as donate and do a whole bunch of other stuff, sign petitions. Like I said, same stuff for the BLM stuff, and you know, it's a really good cause and affects me personally, obviously. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Keep it. I'll see you later.